All right, so welcome to the show. This is the first annual. We have no idea what we're going to call it, but we'll just call it for now the Golf Podcast. So I'm Jonathan, and I'm here with Austin today. How's it going, Austin?
Hey, good. It's good.
So we're just two guys. We've golfed together forever. We're big golf fans. We're big gambling fans. Wouldn't say addicts, more say
Yeah.
enthusiasts.
We'd say enthusiasts. Yeah, it's healthy.
Just because it's been a pretty eventful week in golf. So let's get right into it. So let's start off with the big of news, which is the PGA Championship, the last major of the year. Let's get into it with a recap. So I kind of want to start with day three. Everything is kind of falling into place. Looks like it's going to be a great field. And then Day is on 18. He drives it into the woods. And Austin, talk to me about this decision making here, because I know when we play together, both of us tend to make some stupid decisions. But on the pro level, this was actually quite shocking.
Yeah, a little ridiculous. I mean, he just made a ton of bad decisions, and like you think about it, he could have hit like five pitching wedges and been fine. Made like a five or a six there. Pretty crazy to come out with an eight, but I think that he's not really mentally there right now. Like you can sort of see it from the year that he's had. He hasn't had a good year at all. And obviously, like he has the swing and the talent for it, but I think there are a lot of factors in his life right now that are influencing his decision making, and I think that might have been sort of what happened. Like he wasn't thinking fully there.
Yeah,
I'm not sure though. What do you think?
well, I agree. What I think is that it's interesting that so Day wins the PGA Championship last year. He finally breaks through, and then to us, to me at least, it seemed like well, this was going to be it. Day is going to finally challenge the people at the top of the game, not only in events that don't matter, but in events that do. He took his first major. Now he's going to take more majors, and he's going to be really in contention. I was very surprised to see the year he had this year, where he's not really in contention in anything, and then he
Yeah,
finally this is the last event of the year to really make a difference, and he does. He goes out firing. And I just thought you're in the trees right now. You're at 6 under at the time, right? 6 under, which was I
I
think
think it was five, right? Or
five,
five
five
or
or
six, five or
five or
six.
six
Well,
under.
he's
He's
totally
he's
in
two or three
contention.
back. He's two or three
Yeah,
back on a Sunday of a course that he can attack. He's shown he can attack it.
yeah,
Just if you don't make the par, a bogey is fine. A bogey is
yeah.
fine there. You could
Especially,
contend from four
especially on
under.
that hole. Yeah, I
And
mean
after
that
this, yeah,
that
go
stretch
ahead.
of hole is so ridiculous. I mean, I
Yeah.
think we could talk about a few other guys who sort of mess it up, but like
Mhm.
that stretch of holes was seriously ridiculous. I mean,
Yeah.
totally insane. Like the field played at some ridiculous clip over par, but yeah, he's got to just take his medicine there and try and make a bogey because he's not even giving up like strokes to the field there. Really, like
No.
I forget what it was playing at, but it had to like he's giving up less than a half of a shot to the field there for sure if he makes bogey.
Yeah, I'd
So
really like to know what percentage of the field on days 3 and 4 played the Green Mile, and even or better, it has to be under 50% or right
like
around there.
nobody. Yeah, it's like nobody. Yeah,
Nobody. So he gets a bogey there. Like worse, what he pitches out, gives himself a 30 footer for par, two putts, makes bogey. He's four back going into the final day, 4 or 5, 3 or 4 back. That's not bad. And just again, with the year he's had, just shocking that he goes for it all right there. You take your medicine and you trust in your talent on Sunday
yeah,
to give you a chance to win.
for sure. I mean, we sort of saw
So
the same thing with Ricky, right, on day three, sort
yeah,
of blowing up that stretch as well. And I think that for the guys like Day and Ricky, there might be some pressure on them, especially from for Day with the year that he's had, and for Ricky with the pressure of not winning a major. And I think that might have
yeah,
come out
agreed.
on
And especially
Saturday.
because Ricky, I think his first win was at the Wells Fargo, right at Quail Hollow. So
Yeah,
um, it was definitely a big pressure situation for him. So that's a good segue to just talk about Ricky here. So Ricky hasn't won a major. His friend, obviously Justin Thomas, we'll get to his final round later. Wins again.
yeah.
Spieth's 1-2. His
Did you
buddy,
see? Did you see
what's
his?
up?
Did you see his snap story?
Yeah, I was looking at a snap story. Yeah, the with
He seemed
Tiger
a little
14-1-0. What's up?
or like, yeah, no, his snap story after Justin won, he was seemed a little bit jealous. I don't know, maybe that's just me,
I
but
mean, I'd be jealous
I
if
was
I'd be
watching
jealous if
yeah, it was pretty funny. I thought it was pretty entertaining because like he was trying to be happy for JT, but he seemed a little bit jealous. But I mean, that's of course like for sure to be given because like you know
right.
he's been out there for a lot longer than JT has, and he's been sort of like stunted. I think that the big thing with Ricky though is just he makes so many mistakes. like he's got the firepower. Like he makes a ton of birdies. Like his round one card, right? Like
Yeah.
he made 6 birdies. I'm looking at it right now, 6 birdies, but he made a triple, right? And
Yeah.
you just gotta not make those huge mistakes that he's been making. Like that's been his problem throughout his career, I think.
Right.
But I'm sure he'll get one next year or something. Like he's got so much talent.
Ricky's
like,
going to win a major. I'm not worried about that. He's pretty much statistically basically the best player on tour if you look at the statistics.
He's the best ball striker on tour. It's crazy. His long irons are insane.
Yeah. And one of the best putters as well. His putting is unbelievable. It's really incredible. So I mean, he's going to win a major. There's no doubt about that. But I just hope that it's not going to weigh in his mind too much and that it affects his decision making. But his Sunday round was excellent. If you look at it, the 4 birdies in a row on the back nine was really, really excellent. And he didn't quite put himself in contention. But like you said, if he just hadn't made that, he hit the ball in the water on 17 on the 3rd round, correct?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he played the Green Mile in 4 over.
Yeah, so if he plays that in 2 over, he'll post 7 under.
Right,
and,
he's right there.
He's right there. So that's a big mistake for Ricky, like I said. But Ricky's my favorite player on tour. I have no doubt he'll win a major.
I know. He definitely will.
Yeah, and that final round just shows it. Sorry.
Yeah, you've been on the Ricky train forever.
Yeah, no, I love Ricky.
Get onto that train as well. I really like his swing. It looks good.
Yeah, it does. It really looks good.
Yeah.
And he always looks composed, and he's not as flashy as he was back in the day, when he was just known for being the guy who wore orange. But, if you look at his stats right now, like I said, statistically the best player on tour. So let's go to JT's round. So, I mean, how about the balls on Justin Thomas? This is unbelievable. The chip in was just fucking phenomenal. Just a phenomenal birdie. He hit the big dick putt on 17, which is just like, that's...
How about the...
putt, dude. Like that's like the hardest hole on the course probably, and he just fucking there was 4 birdies there all day, and he rams it in there, absolutely no doubter. And then go ahead, yeah.
How about the club choice there? 7 iron, 220.
227 iron, and that again segues into what I said. So Justin Thomas this year has a 59. He has a major championship victory, and he has that 63 in the U.S. Open, which, by the way, if you watched those 2 shots to set up the eagle attempt on, I think it was 16, and then the eagle on 18, can anyone go lower on the PGA Tour than Justin Thomas when he's on his game right now? The putting, the chipping, and the driving. I challenge you to tell me someone else who can go lower, and talk to me about JT's future on tour.
I think that this is absolutely huge for him, right? Like this is his breakthrough moment. I still think he's a little bit too inconsistent with his driving accuracy and stuff. He's not a great driver of golf ball. I'm looking through some of his stats right now. He's 175th in driving accuracy, right? And we all know he kills it. He kills the ball, right? And when he's on, and he pipes it, and he's up there with some of the longest hitters on tour, but just misses a lot of fairways.
And I think a lot of that stems from him not being the biggest guy in the world, and he tries to swing out of his shoes because he has this immense power, and sometimes he can try to catch up with some of those other guys. I mean, he can hit it a mile. He hits it really far. It's just a matter of he's swinging extremely hard to do that.
He's also not the best putter, I don't think.
No.
And that definitely needs to improve for him to get up there. I mean, you look at the top players in the world, and look at Spieth, right? And he's losing just so many strokes this speed, and he definitely has the firepower, and when he's on, I think that you're right. He definitely he might have the lowest floor of anyone, right? He might be able to shoot the lowest score of anybody out there, but it just doesn't have the consistency yet. I can't really see him being. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what he does in the upcoming playoffs, and how he works on his game during the off season. Not that there's really an off season, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, this could definitely be a springboard. I think it's interesting now that we have so many different guys. It's bouncing around so much as to who the guy that take the helm like Tiger did is going to be. And we've bounced around from Rory to J-Day, Adam Scott was talked about, and there are just so many, and now it's Spieth, right? But it's interesting to see so many new names popping up, and it's crazy.
Well, you talk
Golf
about
is
putting. I mean, Adam Scott might have the best swing on tour, but his putting is just god awful. So I mean,
right.
if he ever figures that out, he'd obviously be up there in
Yeah.
contention. So to wrap up the PGA Championship, let's just talk about the last big gun. How many times is Rory McIlroy going to play like shit for the first 3 days? Fire in a 4 or 5 under on the last day, backdoor his way till a top 25. I mean, I
Yeah.
am sick. You know, I've never been the biggest Rory guy. I know you love Rory. You're a big
I'm a
Rory
big
defender,
Rory
but
fan.
I just don't see I don't see the fire in him. When's the last time he's won a major? 3 years ago or 2 years
I
ago?
don't know. Yeah, a while ago. Definitely
I
a
believe
while
it's
ago. I mean, he
I
just
believe it's 3 years ago.
yeah, but he hasn't competed really. Like you're right. He
No,
backdoors his way into top tens like no one else,
every
no
single
other.
time.
Right?
Every single
It's
time
great at
he
that.
backdoors his way.
But
It's really crazy. Like
here's
70.
the thing.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the thing that's insane to me is did you see him play? What was the tournament before the PGA? I'm blanking, but um he played or the Bridgestone, I guess. Yeah, in the Bridgestone,
Mm-hmm.
in his like, I forget which, the first or second round. Like, he drove the ball literally the best that I have ever seen someone drive the ball. Like, he had flip wedges into every green, and he just missed greens with wedges. That's like he's making these mistakes that are like unacceptable for a professional. It's crazy, and like if you look at his stats from like the scoring distance, right? Like
Yeah.
50 to 125 yards, he's like one of the worst on tour. He's 131st from 50 to 75 yards and 150th from 100 to
That
125
is
yards. Like that's
you're completely
crazy.
right. That's unacceptable,
He's
especially for a guy who has as much talent as he does, and a guy who's won 4 majors, right? 3 or 4
yeah,
majors. You can't, bottom half, like that's outside of the FedEx Cup top
like think
125.
about
That's
he's
insane.
yeah, it's crazy. I'm looking at these numbers now and it's blowing my mind. But like he has to be top five drivers of the golf ball on tour, if not like top one or two, right? Like he's definitely
Yeah.
one of the best drivers
No.
on tour.
And just to hear
But
those stats
I
are really
think you're
crazy.
right. There's no fire. Like I think
Yeah.
maybe I don't know. I don't know what's
I
going
mean,
on with
you saw him get fired up at the Ryder Cup where he had that incredible duel with Patrick Reed, and you saw him get fired up in the FedEx Cup Championship last year where he outdueled. I don't remember who did he. Do you remember who did he beat in the finals in the playoff in the third playoff hole I believe where he hit that putt?
Oh, Moore,
Who?
right? Ryan Moore.
Yeah, Ryan Moore. And that was a big dick putt that he hit, just hitting it in the hole and winning. But like, where is that in majors? Like, why is that in the Ryder Cup and why is that in the FedEx Cup, like
Right.
the
I
finals?
mean,
Like,
I
it's
think that
great that he does it, but
yeah, I think it really is. He might just not be practicing enough because like I mean, you look at a guy like DJ who's improved so much from that distance.
yeah.
And it's just crazy to see Rory's numbers here. Like he's so talented that the fact that he's all the way down here is insane to me. But
You have to imagine that Rory's going to figure it out. But like we said, where we have all these young guys going up, we have Hideki, who almost hit one last week. He already has 3 wins this year, I believe, almost won 2 weeks in a row.
yeah,
We have Ricky, we have JT, we have Spieth. I mean, Rory's going to have to do some catching up. I'm going to have to put in some work realistically if he wants to
right.
put in majors. Everything's not going to be the U.S. Open at Congressional where you're going to fire in 15 under, easy wet
Right.
greens, just fucking make birdies all the time. He's going to have to figure out how to compete, like you said, have to get into the scoring distance. And I mean, I'd like to see Rory compete because it's good for the game of golf. But right now, there's so many talented young players that he's not going to be able to coast on his abilities.
Yeah, for sure. Do you think
So I think Mhm.
Spieth is still at the helm right now? Because I would say that he's sort of the guy right now, right? He's
Spieth is the
still
guy. Spieth is the guy, and it's really his dominance on the greens, like we've talked about, is really what sets him apart.
yeah,
His driving is solid and his irons are solid, but there are definitely players who are better than him in those other two regards. But his dominance on the
right.
green and his clutchness, you have to say,
Yeah.
which is incredible
He
to
has
say
that
that.
drive. He just has that it factor. It seems
I
like right
know,
now, right?
which is why it
Whenever
was so
you
insane to see him go in the water
find him.
twice in the Masters. Like that was just too last year. Like that was crazy to see because it's like we say that's not expected from a guy like Spieth.
But that feels like ages ago now. Like
So
you've seen
long
how
ago,
much
yeah,
he's
it's so long ago.
matured.
Yeah,
Like
but yeah, what were you saying?
I mean, he's embracing it. He's
Yeah,
embracing being at the top. I think, which is
I
completely
agree.
different. Like
Yeah,
his
and we need that.
attitude and like the way he carries himself now is completely different.
Yep. And I think that it's good for golf again to have a guy at the top that everyone's gunning for. And I kind of
sure.
like that Ricky, JT, and Spieth are all friends because inwards they just want to beat the shit out of each other and
Yeah,
win as
yeah.
many events as possible. But like I said, I think golf's in a good spot. It was great that JT won. It was really nice to see him win, and it was a great final round. He didn't backdoor his way into victory, like I said. Big dick
No,
putt,
no,
big dick
for
chip.
sure.
So
Oh,
now it's,
one
yeah.
more person actually. What about what do you think about DJ? What's going on with DJ?
I don't know,
have
man. I've never been able to figure out DJ from his mental state, from the 6 month, suspension due to
right,
drugs,
right.
from the
Whoa.
falling down the stairs. Like, I
Yeah,
mean,
it's crazy.
again, it seemed
And
like he'd
like,
come full circle after the win at the U.S. Open last year, recovering from the suspension, looked incredible, and now again we like the fall after the Masters, and it's insane. It's insane to see.
right? Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, like, and he feels like such a different person. Like, he's not in the circle of like the friends who have developed. I don't think like it
No,
doesn't
he's not.
seem like he's really boys with those guys, and like it's just interesting to see like what he's up to. I mean, he talk about someone who can go low, right? I think
Yeah,
that we might say he could even he has more firepower than even like JT, right? Because
yeah,
of
which is
just his
crazy.
driving
Yeah,
ability, yeah. But he just didn't hear about him. He just made no noise, which is crazy to me. Like
yeah.
someone that can hit the ball like he does. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what he does in the upcoming playoffs and stuff.
It's going to be really interesting exactly to see what he does in the playoffs and what he does next season. I think next season is going to be a really interesting season. Like we talked about, there's so much setup. And then we have Rory after coming out, not a down year because he played great, like I said, but just not seeing that drive, not winning majors. Day definitely
No
had a down
results.
year.
No results. Yeah.
No results. No results. Yeah. Ricky had a good year, but again, not getting the majors, getting a couple wins, but just not getting
Yeah.
that major championship. And JT and Spieth obviously having a great year. And Brooks Koepka obviously he played really
Right.
well in the
He
majors.
played
Winning the
great.
US
Yeah.
Open. Yeah, I think top 15. I think he finished 13th in
Right.
PGA, and I think he was also up there in the British. So again, going to be a really great next season in playoffs.
Yeah.
So we started off on a really happy note. Unfortunately, getting a little sad. My guy Tiger, obviously when you grew up about my age, around 21 years old, and you started
Right.
getting into golf, Tiger was the guy, and just loved watching him. And it was just really incredible to see. Like one of my clearest golf memories from that early was the 2008 U.S. Open at Torrey. And it was just
Right.
incredible. And we get the toxicology report from the DUI, and it's really not great. We got weed, we got Xanax, we got another opiate, we got drugs I've never heard of, 5 drugs in the system. So my question to
Right.
you is
not good.
Tiger is he mentally healthy? Will he ever play again? Will he ever win again? And what do you think? Did he just get fundamentally broken after everyone found out about the whole pissing on whores hooker scandal? Like, what do you think, Tyler? Is there anything he can do to get back to where he was?
Well, I think that
Not where he
it's
was, just winning.
a lot less mental for him than people are making it out to be. I think it's just physical for him. Like he just can't stay healthy. And I think that more than anything, that's been what's wearing on him. That's been what's frustrating him, right? Because he's such a competitor, that the thing that he wants most in the world is to be able to get out there and just grind on the range, but he can't, right? And I think that realization now is sort of pushing him to maybe these places, these like dark places that we don't love to see him in. But I mean, he's such a competitor, and you've never seen someone as mentally strong as Tiger in his prime, right? Like that guy was you can compare him to Jordan and Kobe, right? Like what a mental just monster, and that's what you need to be in golf. I wonder. I don't think that he'll compete at the top level ever again. It's funny because it's because of him that there's so many great players in the game now.
Yeah.
And I don't think he can compete with the guys who are 20 years younger than him.
And as much as I don't want to admit it, you're 100% right. I'd really love to see Tiger win again. I wouldn't doubt it if he wins an event again. I really wouldn't doubt it. But if he wins a major,
I'd be surprised.
I don't know, man. It'd have to be the Masters, and it would probably be one. I think that's the only possibility. I don't think he'd win multiple. Maybe at Augusta, but
got to get healthy. He's just got to get healthy.
And he's got to get healthy. Got to put in the work, like you said. We played the one event in the Bahamas, had the most birdies in the field. I think he finished like third to last. But he can still hit the golf ball well, and he can still play well. But putting it all together and avoiding the bogeys and the snap hooks, that's going to be the real problem. Because even when he was playing well post in like 2013, he had 6 wins, right? But he couldn't win a major. And we'll see. Like I said, he needs to get healthy. He needs to get his mental game in the right place. And like I said, we need to work on exactly what you were saying about he needs to go on the range, he needs to grind, get back into that old Tiger mentality, and then we'll see. If that can ever happen due to his physical and mental limitations, it's unclear. But I'd like to see it happen. I'd like to see it. It's good for golf if Tiger would get back there and do some more work.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Another, I think this is interesting on the topic of Tiger, just real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
How about Phil? Do we think Phil is done? Did you see him play at all this week? He was awful. He was absolutely horrendous.
He was. He missed the cut. He's outside of the top 125 in the FedEx Cup standings, and
Right.
I don't think he's playing at the Wyndham, so he's not going to be in the playoffs. Which is so weird because Phil was playing some great golf until recently.
But I mean, well, look at his season this year. It just hasn't been that good.
No, it hasn't been that great. It hasn't been that great. I don't think he contended in any of the majors.
Yeah, when was the last time you saw Phil on the leaderboard?
It was definitely last year. I'm pretty sure he played some pretty good golf.
He played good last year, but
this year, no. I don't know. I feel like with old players, it really goes in cycles. Like you can see them for a couple years, they can contend, and then again they kind of disappear, and then maybe a little bit of a swan song. But I don't know. Phil's game is. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say with Phil's game, we would expect him to be reasonably consistent because his short game is so good.
I was about to say,
never hit it well, so shouldn't matter.
Yeah. But with him, it's really maybe as he got older, he's losing the ability to control. I mean, like you said, he's never been an accurate player. He's really totally relied on that short game. I'm sure that maybe we'll see him in the leaderboard in the next couple of years, next few years. But I don't know if he's obviously not one of the elite players in the game anymore, like we talked about. Is he still capable of contending? Yeah, but is he going to be up there consistently? I don't think so. If you have any thoughts on that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I was watching him play the PGA, and obviously small sample size, but his short game was just not good. He had a bunch of chips that were just bad, just straight up bad, and that's weird to see him fill in. There were a bunch of shots where it was all hyped up, like, oh, this is going to be another Phil moment, like it's set up perfectly, whatever, and he just didn't hit good shots. So I don't know what's going on with him. Maybe I don't know. Maybe something in his personal life is preventing him from practicing or whatever, but definitely weird. I mean, he's getting up there. He's 47, 48. I don't know.
Yeah, he's old.
He's old.
He's really old.
Yeah. And he's been playing forever, so I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely past his prime, and like I said, maybe the drive isn't quite as there anymore. I mean, he's accomplished so much. He's 47 years old, so yeah. And maybe he's just not quite ready to grind on that same scale like we talked about that, a Tiger or the young guys are doing now to get himself in contention. Okay, so let's go on to our third topic. So the Wyndham Championship is this week. It is the last week to qualify for the FedEx Cup playoffs, the top 125. So it's a course that the guys, we talked about this before the show, they wreck it. They just absolutely murder it. Only 7,100 yards. It's not long. It's an OG Donald Ross. It's a pretty nice course. And a lot of the big names aren't really playing this week, but there's definitely some interesting stories, like who's going to qualify for the FedEx Cup, who's going to be those last guys off the bubble. Favorite is Henrik Stenson. So let's talk some betting. So Henrik Stenson is 12-1, but he's missed 3 cuts. So if you were to pick one guy, who do you pick?
I mean, I read that Stenson's only playing in this to keep his card.
Yeah.
It gets him to 15 events, which is the minimum that he needs. So I can't imagine that his heart is really going to be in this event.
I agree.
Right? 3 missed cuts seems like he's not super into it. And like there are guys who need this week, who need to play well this week. So I don't think that Stenson's really going to play that great. Obviously, he's one of the most, if not the most talented person in the field in the field this week. But I just don't think he cares about this event enough to win.
I totally agree.
So given that, I don't know. There are a bunch of interesting names that we could look at. What do you think about someone like Bud Cauley breaking out?
That's an interesting pick. I haven't really looked much into Bud Cauley. Do you what are his his stats for the?
Yeah, he's top. He's been playing well. Top 35 in 4 of his last 6 events. So
he made 13 cuts this year.
Yeah, he's been playing well. Maybe he just saw his buddy JT win, right? He's part of that friend group. I think.
12th in the John Deere, 33rd in the PGA.
Right. And
so for me, a guy. Oh, so go ahead.
Yeah. Another guy is Webb Simpson, right?
Yeah,
He
yeah. I
kills it
have
right
Webb
now.
Simpson. I have Webb Simpson as well, and he is at plus 2,200, so not terrible value. I think he's like top six on the board
Right.
in terms of betting, which isn't bad. His stats aren't bad. I think he's top 100 in all the major stats. I think like
Uh,
um, in let me see. Yeah, and strokes gained, putting, strokes gained, approach, and birdie
yeah.
average. He also top 100, and it's a weak field. So as long as you have like a solid average, like, and you have good course history, I
Yeah.
think that's the most important thing to look at.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I think that I wouldn't be surprised to see somebody who, right, someone in like the 130 to 145 range in the FedEx Cup standings right now win because, those are the guys who are probably grinding for this event, like have their games
Yeah,
sharp to try and get in, right? Because it's a huge deal for
yeah.
these guys.
So here's my sleeper. My sleeper is Rory Sabatini. Rory Sabatini, I think he's 127th in the FedEx Cup. He has two top 25 finishes, in 4 of his last 5 starts. Had a top 10 finish in 2 places at Sedgefield, and he's 42nd in birdie average, and he needs this. Like I said, I'm pretty sure he's 127th in the FedEx Cup.
Right. Here, let me take a look.
He's 121st, so he's literally right on the
Right
bubble.
there,
You're
yeah.
getting great value for your money. Okay, let me see where we got him at. He's plus 10,000 to win this event, and he's neat. Like I said, he needs this. He's 4 top 25 finishes, top 50 in birdie average, 2 top 10 finishes at this course. Course history, he's got the drive, he's got the thing. You got to put a little bit of money on Rory Sabatini for a long shot. Great value for your money.
Yeah.
And then
he has 1 career victory, so I wouldn't be. I don't know about that.
well, I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's just value for your money.
For sure, yeah. I mean, if you want to go with someone that deep, I think that's definitely a reasonable pick. I'm just looking through. What about a guy like Danny Lee?
Oh
Because
yeah,
he's
I
a
don't hate Danny Lee.
striker. He's a great ball striker. I mean, he's gonna make a ton of birdies probably on an easy golf course, and I think that what gets
He's just
him
kind of all over the place.
trouble a lot of the time is he's all over the place, but I don't think that matters that much on this golf course. So
Yeah.
I don't know, we might see him. I wouldn't be
Yeah,
surprised to see him put together a good week.
yeah, and then if you're gonna go chalk, Kevin Kisner is plus 1,400. He's been playing great. Obviously contended in the PGA. He's just been playing. He's had a great season. So
Right,
and he's 19th in strokes gained approach. So that's basically the best in the field. So which is
right,
really important here.
right. I'm not sure if he has the. Do we think he has the firepower to win this event though? Because
I think so. It's not a long course.
Is he going to get to 21 under though?
I'm not
Maybe.
sure. I mean, I don't doubt it.
I don't know.
He has 2 top 10s. He has 2 top 10s here. He was 15 under at least last year.
Mm-hmm.
And 7th in total strokes gained. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he has good stats. And again,
for
for
sure.
DraftKings as well, I really like Sabatini, 7,200. He's really low priced, and he's going to get you great value. Like I said, 2 top finishes here, 2 top 10 finishes. Kisner, 2 top 10 finishes as well. Definitely going to be fading Henrik Stenson. Like I said, he's the highest priced golfer on there. He has 3 missed cuts and 3 starts here, so don't see a need for him. And then Webb Simpson and Keegan Bradley as well. Webb Simpson's a little lower down there. Keegan at 9,500. Keegan's not always up there, but here he's probably one of the best players here. Like I said, it's not a deep field at all. So
do we like Keegan though? Has he even been playing well? I have no idea. I haven't seen
Keegan?
him on. Yeah, I haven't seen him on too many leaderboards this year.
He's made 6 cuts in a row, and he's 23rd in greens and regulations and 50th in total strokes gained, which I said those aren't great stats, but for this course, for this field, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, this field is horrible.
It's terrible.
Right? Which is interesting.
No, there's like nobody here good. So you're really you're grasping at straws. It's really the intrigue of this is who's going to make the top 125 and who's not.
Right, exactly, which isn't so exciting because it doesn't really matter. Yeah, it's a tough week for golf. What about Duffner? He played.
I was looking at Duffner. I think he's
round
3rd highest price on DraftKings, I believe.
Okay.
Second,
I haven't even
third
looked
highest
at
price. I mean, he's been playing well. Like, I just, again, if you're going to go with someone that high on DraftKings, or if you're going to go with someone that much of odds, you basically got to have them finish in the top 10. And I don't know if Duffner's going to finish in the top 10 here. I'd rather pick Kisner probably.
I'm thinking it could be fun to put together like a little parlay here. So we've got we've got tournament matchups.
Yeah, so, I see. Those are cool bets.
I was thinking we could go through. I think there are 10 of them. You want to run through them?
Yeah, let's run through them. You read them off.
So the first one is Kevin Streelman versus Robert Streb.
Oh God.
Right? They're 82nd, 78th, I think.
That is such a random.
Do you know Robert Streb finished 22nd last week
in the PGA? Really? Yeah, Robert Streb's always a guy who I have in my lineups. Like when I need like a 6,100 guy, I see Robert Streb. I'm like, yeah, I'll toss him on there. He'll make a cut.
Under the radar is good golfer.
So I guess I'll pick Robert Streb.
Yeah, he's crazy though. He's the guy who putted with his wedge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he putted great too.
Yeah, he made 3 birdies. I'm pretty sure he made 3 in a row.
That was good down the stretch. Yeah,
that's hilarious. That's a hilarious matchup. All right, next. I guess that's what you get in these fields.
Yeah. Okay. Russell Knox versus Lucas Glover. I think that's definitely Knox.
You'd say Knox. I was going to say Lucas Glover. I thought Luke Glover was playing pretty well lately.
Is he?
Huh. Maybe not.
I don't know.
No, I think he's playing pretty well. Okay. Let's see. Ty 33rd at the PGA, 25th in the John Deere, 43rd in the Quicken Loans, and then goes to shit after that. But that's not bad.
No,
versus
that's not bad.
Knox has been good.
That's surprising.
Dude, Knox has made 9 cuts the entire year.
How many has Glover made? Do you know?
Yeah, Glover's made 13 out of 17. Knox 9 out of 20. Huh. Okay. Knox, cut PGA Championship, tied for 5th at the Bridgestone, and then cut, tie 62, cut, 37, 65, cut.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything from Glover, but I feel like
but I mean that's slightly more consistent than not. I mean, maybe just because of that tie for 5th, but other than that, dude, he doesn't have any top anything.
Yeah. Huh. All right. We'll go with Glover.
Keep his tour card? There's no way he's gonna keep his tour card.
Oh, we got a good one for the next one.
Wait, Knox must have a win then. He's 31st in the FedEx Cup standings. He has to have a win.
Yeah, I think he won. That's why I've heard about him, I think.
But wow, it must have been early on in the season then, because he's been
terrible. Yeah, he won one of the earlier ones, I think.
I guess it was that win and then that top 5th in the Bridgestone, which was probably worth a lot of points. All right, what's
top 5
the
in the Bridgestone, yeah, is probably big. Do we think the next one is Danny Lee and Billy Horschel.
Danny Lee.
I like Billy Horschel is pretty good, but I like
Billy Horschel this week. Dude, my friend put what tournament did he win this year? John Deere?
Yeah, something like that.
My friend put a like $20 bet on him and won $2,000.
Wow, that's sick.
Yeah.
That is sick. All right. The next one is totally ridiculous. Grayson Murray versus Ben Martin. I don't know who either of those people are.
I know Grayson Murray is. Grayson Murray contended in something. I think it was the British.
Okay.
He also has a win this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think so. Maybe not.
All right.
Oh, wow. He's a big dude.
Really?
He went to Wake Forest. He went to 3 schools.
Oh, wow. That's weird.
Yeah, he won the Barbasol, which I think is an alternate event to the U.S. Open or something.
Yeah, it's like one of the backup. Yeah.
And then he won and he finished tied for 22nd this week.
Okay, all right.
In the PGA, so yeah, I'm gonna go with Grayson Murray. He was contending in this. He was contending in the PGA. I thought so.
Oh, you're right.
He finished. Yeah, he finished +4 on the final day.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
These are hard to pick, man. These aren't the classic fun. Like Rory DJ.
No. All right. How about Ches Reavie and Kyle Stanley?
Oh, Ches Reavie was on my list for bets, so I was going to pick Ches Reavie. Yeah,
that's definitely Ches Reavie here. We got a matchup of the the Asian guys here. How about Ben On and James Han?
That's another tough one. I also had James Hahn on my value bets.
They're both sort of sleepers as well. Like
I at plus 3,300. And James Hahn, I believe he has good course history here.
Right, such a weak field too. Like you definitely see both of these guys up there in the leaderboard this week, I think.
Yeah, and then he finished. James Hahn hasn't missed a cut since May. 13th of the PGA, 10th of the Canadian Open.
He hasn't missed a cut since May.
Hasn't missed a cut since May.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, so I
think we'll go with him then. Yeah. Ben On just can't putt.
Yeah.
All right, Bud Cauley, Keegan Bradley.
Probably Keegan again. Like I said, Keegan is another one. Someone I was talking about earlier. I think his stats aren't bad. He's like not again. He hasn't really done much since that major win, but I think that he's a better player. I think he'll have to win.
Yeah, but we got there are odds on this one actually, so it's wow, Bud Cauley's favored by a bunch actually. It's minus 125 to minus 105. Not a bunch.
I might have to bet, but I might have to bet Keegan there. It's good money.
Yeah, I think you're right. How about Duffner versus Moore? That's a good one too.
That is a good one. You go first. What do you think?
Ryan Moore hasn't been doing that much this year, has he? I haven't heard so much from him since he had a great season last year, obviously. But, I feel like you usually see him up there in the top 10 at some of the majors and stuff, but I haven't seen him. What's he been up to? Let's check it out.
Definitely have to do more research before the next one of these.
Yeah, for sure.
Looking too much stuff up. Not great. 11 of 16 cuts made. 13th of the PGA, though.
Oh, really?
Seems like everyone finished there.
Yeah, why is everybody up there? Wow. All right, I'm going to go with Moore. I think that around this time of year, he's going to kick it up.
Second in driving accuracy, 5th in greens in regulation, 7th in strokes gained tee to green at the PGA.
Great ball striker, yeah.
Yeah.
He got a goofy
couldn't putt. Couldn't putt at all.
All right. Webb Simpson or Bill Haas?
Webb Simpson.
Me too. Bill Haas just doesn't do that much.
Wow. Only 10 birdies the whole week for Ryan Moore at the PGA. 10 birdies, 10 bogeys, finished even.
He's such a consistent player like that.
Yeah.
All right. Kisner or Stenson? Kisner, right?
Kisner, not even close. Yeah, Kisner.
Wow, that's crazy. And Kisner's plus 110. I mean,
that's a good bet.
That's easy. All right, so we picked our 10. Should we parlay it? See what?
Do you actually want to parlay it? You owe me $20, so.
I don't owe you anything. I paid.
What do you mean you don't owe me anything ever? You owe me $20.
All right.
We'll cut that part.
$5. Yeah, we'll cut that one. Sure.
Yeah, $5.
We should
put in 10. Put in 10 because 5 of it's 5 that you owe me. So put in $10 and parlay that. What would that be to win? Like $20,000?
5,874.
$10? Yeah.
Sure.
Do it.
All right, I'm taking it all though.
Can you take a screenshot of that, by the way, and send it to me so I know what to root for?
Yeah, sure. We're cutting this.
Yeah, this part's getting cut. I'm going to stop the broadcast so we can just talk.